Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Right Nook. I am Kimberley Woodhouse, and today I'm talking about lesson number 10, which is in the creative writing course, and it's titled Danger Road Ends. Now, Kayla did a great job explaining endings that you should try to avoid. And the ones that she said you needed to try to avoid were noodle endings, a rickety cliff, and the flatlands. So make sure that you go read the post so that you remember and you can know all about these endings that you should try to avoid. But today, for a supplement for the lesson, I thought it would be interesting to talk about 3 books with endings that are good and different and might be a little bit out of the norm as well. And they might also be on some of these you should avoid list, so you can compare and contrast and think about it for yourself. But they work really, really well for these books. The first one that I want to talk about is this book right here called The Third Target by Joel Rosenberg. Now, Joel Rosenberg is a master storyteller. This guy is always on the New York Times bestseller list. He is amazing. But this book right here, if you got this just like I did the day that it came out in hardcover and you read it, there's a major, major, major cliffhanger at the end, and then you had to wait like the rest of the world for the other books. So if you read this series, it's great now because the entire series is out, so you can read all of them. But he can get away with it because Joel does such a great job with stories. And again, he's always on the New York Times bestseller list. He's amazing, even though so many of us wanted to throw the book up against the wall when we were done with it. The next book, I know this is going to be kind of weird because this is one of my own books. And yes, this has been on the bestseller list as well. But this is Under the Midnight Sun. This is book 3 in our Heart of Alaska series, and this came out in January. And the reason why I wanted to talk about this one is because this book has so many characters and so many lines that we had to finish. And so we have heard from hundreds and hundreds and thousands of readers that have said they've absolutely loved this book because it tied up the series, and we actually gave all the characters not necessarily an ending, but we gave them a happily ever after and a future that they could be happy with and the readers could be happy with. So this is a good way to show a series of tying up all of the ends of all of your characters. And the next one I want to talk about is actually the favorite that I'm going to talk about today. This book right here, Mind Games by Nancy Meal. Now, Nancy is a friend, and she's a precious lady. She also writes for Bethany House, which is one of my publishers. But everybody, I think, needs to read this book. It is the beginning of a series. It is absolutely amazing. But what is so cool about this book and what she does so brilliantly is at the ending, she resolves the story, and you have an ending that makes you happy about the ending. But she gives you this little bitty thread and this little bitty thing that makes you think so hard and makes you go, oh, wait, and makes you anticipate the next book. So it's not like it's a cliffhanger. It's not like she left, anybody hanging off of a cliff or out of an airplane or whatever. But it is amazing to read because she makes you crave and just want the next book right away, even though that story was all tied up and it was finished. It was great. So all of these illustrations today are just to show you some different endings and how you can do them well. And then also a supplement to the course, which was lesson number 10, about endings that you should avoid. So make sure that you're always reading the blog posts. Check up on the creative writing course. There's over 150 lessons on there. The Heart of the Writer lessons are also up there. So make sure you subscribe to the blog, subscribe to the channel here. We love having you. We love hearing from you. Ask any questions in the discussion section. We'll see you next time.